Today I'm going to recreate this $100 million supplement brand using HighLevel and Canva. I'm going to show you step by step how I build the store, how I design the packaging, and everything in between. And the reason I'm doing this series is I want to show you there are so many ways to make money with HighLevel that don't have to do with going out and getting clients. If you want to go down that path, we did it for a very long time and you can totally do that. But there are a lot of other ways that you can build your own business using HighLevel, and I want to show you all of that today. And if you click the link down below to sign up for HighLevel and get a free 30-day trial, you'll go to a page that looks like this. I'll give you the entire shop that I designed on this training today for free, including all of our other designs that we've done. So any affiliate that uses our link will get all of the designs that we create. And if you're not an affiliate or you've already signed up for HighLevel, there'll be a link down below that you can buy the shop that I'm designing today as well. But regardless, I'll show you step by step what I'm doing. So if you want to take the time to do it, you totally can. Okay, so let me show you a little bit about this site. This site is called Organifi, and this was started several years ago, I believe in 2011. Let's see, founded in 2011. This is a kind of green juice, whole food supplement company started by a man named Drew Canoli. Funny fact is I found out about Drew a long time ago. He was in the real estate space and then started a channel called Fit Life TV where he's talking about green juice and just healthy living, and then turned into this multi-million-dollar mogul that created this supplement brand. So you can see here, I don't know if these figures are accurate or not, but it says how Organifi scaled to be a $100 million company. And then I found another interview here, how he scaled Organifi to $100 million a year. So this is something that he's also been featured on some ClickFunnels channels before, talking about how when he first got started, he was selling the supplements through ClickFunnels. So just got my kind of wheels turning and I decided to go check out the site. And now that HighLevel has their own kind of Shopify competitor, obviously it still has a lot of room to grow, but I am so impressed with what they have already. I'm going to show you how to launch a store in seconds and then how we go in and redesign these pages. And the main pages that we're going to create today are, number one, the landing page. So where do people go when they go to the whatever.com or .co or whatever the site is? Then we also need some product images. We need to see what happens when somebody actually goes and clicks on one of the products. You'll see that there is a product page here, so we need to create this page. Then when someone adds the product to their cart, we need to go to a cart page. So we'll have that as well. I'll show you how I design all that. I'm just kind of walking you through the site here. So we'll need this. And then finally, we'll need a thank you page. So what happens after somebody purchases the product? So you'll see step by step some really cool stuff that I've done with CSS to design some buttons that kind of pop in and out, and some really cool stuff we'll get into. But more importantly, just having a working model of a site that you could go out and if you have coaches or consultants or people that you think would sell supplements, you could design this shop for them and sell it to them. Obviously redesign it a little bit and sell it to them. Or if you want to go out and start your own supplement brand, then this is kind of the seeds of getting to do that. So I'll show you step by step how I'm building this. So let me get into the making of the site. Now I'll scroll down a little bit here and see we have the logo up here, kind of the navigation bar. We have a hero image here, which just kind of shows a product and has a button that you can click. Then some product images, some testimonials. Let me shrink my head down. And then just a little bit of other content here, nothing too crazy. And then a footer here with, again, the logo, an opt-in form, and a few other links here. So our site won't look exactly like this, but I'm going to model after the framework of how this is built so that you can see that we can create something really beautiful inside of HighLevel. And what I love about that is a lot of times I've built many sites and sold things on Shopify before. And when I was first using Shopify with HighLevel, we had to figure out the integrations and making sure that when I sold something on Shopify that all that data would go into HighLevel. And it was just, although it worked somewhat, it wasn't perfect. I like to use something natively if I can, meaning if I can make the sale on HighLevel and then do the fulfillment and get the emails and everything all going out through the same software, then that just makes things work a lot easier. So let's open up HighLevel. I'll show you how we launch the site in the first place, launch the store, and then show you how easy it is to go out and edit this stuff. All right, here we are inside of our HighLevel account, and I'm going to show you step by step how I start a brand new sub account to build this in. You can obviously build this in your own sub account that you already have built, but I'm going to show you step by step how to do this from scratch. That way, if you have a client that you're taking on that you want to do this for, you'll see how to do this from the beginning. Or if you just want this to be one of your many brands that you have under your HighLevel dashboard, you can just launch this brand from scratch, have its own account and everything on that sub account will be for that particular brand. So the way that we do this is we just hit add sub account, and I'm going to do a blank snapshot here. Now I'm going to add the account manually and click save. Then I can just put my name here. I'll just put any email here. Then I'll just do, let's see, Organifi demo, just so you can see that. Any address, United States. Don't really need a niche here. Texas. You'll want to put your correct number in here because then you'll be able to log into that account. And then I hit save. Okay, once that account is set up, then I'm going to go to switch to sub account, and that's going to bring me inside of that particular account. So you'll know that you're in that account when it says the name that you added there right here. So you can see Organifi demo. Now I'm inside of that account. If I wanted to go back, I would go switch to agency view. So you can see how I bounce back and forth there. Now to set up the shop, what I need to do is go to sites. And then now there's a new button here called stores. This used to be under websites, but now it's under stores. Then I can create a new store. Now, some people may argue you should start from blank if you want to totally redesign it. I personally like to pick some of the templates here. I usually don't use many of the elements at all from these, but you can see there's not that many store packages in here quite yet. So you can pick really any of these. Reason I like to do it is just already kind of build some of the blocks that I need. I'm going to totally redesign and probably delete a majority of them. But let's just pick this luggage store one here. And then I just hit continue. Okay, now that the store is loaded, we'll just kind of scroll through and I'll show you what it looks like with some generic products in here. So we have the hero image modeled after what we have here. So the hero image at the top, logo, navigation bar. So let's see, give you a little sneak preview of what I've been working on there. So logo up here, then the hero image here, which is kind of the big part at the top. All the products will be here. You can see there. And then just some content. Here's a little button here to make a video pop up, and then some category collections and things like that. So decently designed site, but we're going to recreate a lot of this. So the first thing that I did, if I'm going to create this as a template for you guys, I'm not going to call it Organifi because I want you to be able to remarket this and show it to your client. So I'll create something similar. I've already kind of gone through this entire process just to learn myself before I decided to come on camera and teach you guys. So the brand that I decided to create is something called Wanetah, kind of just going off of the Organifi brand. So it's WELLNEFI. So I'm going to go into Canva, create a logo similar to this to populate into our logo space up here. All right, here we are inside of Canva, and I highly recommend you get Canva Pro. I believe it's 12 or 13 bucks a month. I use it almost every single day, and it does some really cool stuff that you'll see in this video. You can get by with using the free version, but you're going to be limited on the types of graphics you can use, and I believe some of the packaging stuff that I'm going to show you later in the video, you're not going to be able to do without Canva Pro. So I highly recommend you upgrade, or I believe they probably even have a 30-day trial, so just check it out. But again, I use it all the time. You have something similar you like to use, you could probably do something as well. But let's just put some text in here. We're going to make this a very simple image here. So we'll just do text, add text box, and I'm just going to do Wanetah. And the image that I created is 400 pixels wide by 100 pixels tall. So I can get this wide image. I'm going to change the font here to, I like using pop-ins for a lot of stuff, and then bold. So you can see we're kind of in the vein of this Organifi logo up here. Whoops. Okay, so then I'm going to make this as big as I can. I like to make the logo quite big because then it'll be very crisp when I upload it. I'll show you that in a second. So let me just make this a little bit bigger, try to fill as much space as possible. And I'm showing you this because if you want to start your own brand, or maybe you just want to do this as a demo for a client that they haven't thought about selling supplements, or they have a very outdated website or something, you could totally kind of rebrand this and pitch it to them and charge them accordingly for it. Okay, let's try to put our spacing a little bit closer together. Not bad. Okay, good. All right, then one other cool little thing I wanted to add here isn't mandatory, but I like to do is, you can see on the Organifi site, they have this logo, but it has a little R like for the registered trademark there. So let's just see if we can recreate that here in Canva. So I'm going to add another text box here. And on a Mac, I'm going to do Option R, and that makes that little logo there. See if I need to make it into pop-ins, if that changes anything. Yep, it does change it a little. Not mandatory, just something fun I like to do, even though this isn't registered obviously yet, or maybe ever. I just like to add this. Cool. So we have the logo now. I'm going to download this. I'm going to do two different versions here. So I'm going to copy this, so duplicate it. I have two different copies. I'm going to make this white now. You can make your color whatever you want. But then if I have any dark spaces on my site, I can make it to where it'll show up there as well. So obviously you can't see this, but it is there. I'm going to do Wanetah black, hit share, download. I want to download with a transparent background. And then I'm going to do page 1, download. And then that's downloading. I'm going to do Wanetah white and do the same thing except for image number 2, download. Now both of these are on my computer, so I can start putting this into my website. So let's get over there. Okay, here we are back on our design, and the first thing I'm going to change is this logo up here. Now you can see it's kind of scrunched up here and it has this text. So what this is for is if you have like an icon and you just wanted to type in the information here. But I don't want to do that. I want to remove this text, and I want the whole logo to be right here. So what I do is I tap on that logo, I go down, and then where it says image options, I'm going to upload the logo I just created, which is this Wanetah black. Okay, and double tap it. You see it's scrunched up. The reason is because it's 40 by 40 here. So I'm just going to remove this width requirement, and you can see now we're in there. If I wanted to make it bigger, I could remove this too, and it would make it really big, but let's keep that maybe around like 30. That's pretty good. Okay, so that part's done. Let's save. Let's scroll down to the bottom and see if we have a footer there that we need to edit. So we have the logo there. Now you see we need the white version, right? So we're going to upload, do the Wanetah white, double click it, and then we can make it a little smaller too. So we'll do 50, 40. 40 is good for now. So let's save. We're changing global sections. What that means is we have multiple pages in this shop. So every time that we change up here, it's going to change it on all the pages, which is great. Then I don't have to manually go in to each one of those spaces and change it. So I'll show you some of the other pages that this shop created here. Okay, so what you might not know is if you click on this little drop down up here at the top, it will then pull up this menu here where you can click on all the other pages that were created. So what created here was the landing page, then the product details page, which just shows you about that one specific product, similar to like this page here. Then next was the actual cart page. You can see where people are checking out there, which is similar to this page. And again, they're not going to be identical, but we're just creating the framework of how this flow goes. So we have that page. Then last is the checkout page. Okay, so that is more like this. And then finally, our thank you page. So this is kind of the receipt page, which we haven't seen that because we probably won't actually be buying these products. Although you could, if you wanted to kind of model after the entire thing and see some of the emails and all that goes out, you could totally do that. But we got the framework there of the site. Okay, so let's go back to our home page. So the next thing we need is if I preview this page, you can see that it says products aren't available at the moment. Don't worry, they'll be popping up soon with a surprise. I don't know why it says that, but the reason I'm not populating is because I haven't added any products. So I need to go in and actually create the products that will show up in the store. On this page, it's just showing you a sample of what they would look like, but these products, this Zippo lighter, obviously, and wood art and guitar are not something that I'm selling. So this is just kind of populating what it would look like. So I'm going to actually go in and create the products, and I'll show you some really cool things about how I'm designing some packaging too inside of Canva. All right, so I'm on the Organifi site. I just wanted to kind of show you some of their packaging here. And you obviously aren't going to have this exact same product, but I'm going to show you how you could model after this if you did have something like that. Now, I tried a few different things to create the packaging. Number one, I went to ChatGPT and I was asking it to, I uploaded a picture. You can see just kind of all the different things that I tried here. So I'll shrink my head down. So I uploaded a picture of the product. I said, can you make a product image similar to this, but call the product demo? And obviously it started creating these box, images. And then I said, no, can you make the bag almost identical to what I uploaded? So it made this, which is getting better. I said, can you make it transparent? It did this. Then it made this one, made a few others. And I said, can you do one with just one bag? And it started making some of these. Then I got the idea for I did some green ones. I got the idea for Wanetah, or I think I originally called it Wellify. So I started creating these. And I got some pretty cool product images here, but I found that a majority of these had way too much text. Obviously, the text doesn't make sense or isn't spelled correctly in a lot of these. So I was like, what is another way that I could do it? I even tried this really nice packaging for the sleep one, and it gave me some blue variations here. And ultimately, it did okay. Like, this is not bad, but wasn't quite what I was looking for. So then I realized that I had Canva, and I had heard a lot of great things about the advancements of Canva and the imaging that you could do with AI and with some product images that they had. So I'm going to show you what I ended up doing, which is really cool. All right, here we are inside of our Canva account, and you can see this is a package that I created using nothing but Canva, and I'm going to show you how I created it. Number one, again, you do need the Canva Pro version, I believe, to access this. But what I did is I went down to this app section here, and then I searched for mockups, I believe, and then I found this app that they have. And you can see all the different mockups that you have the ability to create, like mugs and phones and laptops. I used to pay a software like $30 a month just to be able to do this for various products. So it's cool that it's now built into this Canva Pro thing. But what I looked for was packaging. So if I click see all, you see I have some like coffee mugs and things like that. This is like a little coffee bag here. I kept scrolling down. It had like some pill bottles, and then I stumbled on this one. So I'm going to create a new spot here. Let me find that packaging one more time. If I click on here, it's going to fill in this. You can see anytime you see this sky and grass area, what that means is that it's something that you can drop an image on, and then it will fill in the image with whatever you put. Okay, so that is step one. So I have this here, but how do I get this to turn into this? Well, I need to create this image here. So let me go back to my Canva account, and I created this image, which I believe ended up being 13 pixels across and then 1920 down. It probably could be a little bit bigger because I found there's still a little white space on that other image, but all of these are editable. I recreated this based on what they had here. So obviously I didn't make it exactly the same, but I did a decent job with it. Okay, so let me find that again. Oops. So all of these, I just put some images here. Any of these you can see I can change any of the colors. If you have this template, either you buy it from us or you're an affiliate of ours, you'll get this editable thing that you could go in and change, or however you want to do it here. Change the logo, change the brand name, all that stuff. This is just really for demo purposes. If you're really going to go out and sell this, then maybe you're going to get somebody to professionally design some packaging, but this is just to get you going. So you can see I created a couple of these. I download this image once I'm done with it. And then if I go back to our image here, and if I upload it here to my Canva account, you can see I just drop it on here. I drag it over. You'll see that little spin, and then it makes it into the package, which is really cool. So I could drop this red one on. I can drop the yellow one back on. And it just keeps changing it, which is really cool. Then what I need to do is download this image, this product image. So I'll hit share, download. I want to do transparent background. And then I'm going to do page number 2 is where I am. Hit download. And that is going to download to my computer. We're going to need that image because now I'm going to show you how to set up the actual product inside of HighLevel. Okay, we're back inside of HighLevel, and where we set the products up is a little bit different spot. You can access it from the stores where we were at, but what I like to do is go to payments and then products here, and then I'm going to create a product. And you can see this thing is automatically turned on, which says include an online store. We want to keep that checked because that is now going to show up anywhere that we have a store. You can turn that off if you don't want a particular product to go in that store, but for this purpose we are. So, and we called the product, let me remember, Smile Drops. So we're going to do Smile Drops here. Then let's go to Organifi and get their description there. Okay, so we're back on Organifi, and I went to the happy drops, which we're calling smile drops here. I'm just going to copy their description here. Then I want to go to ChatGPT. You can use the free version for this if you want. And I'm just going to have it rewrite it for this demo purpose. So, hey chat, can you rewrite this product description for our product called Smile Drops? Please keep the same format. I pasted the thing I got from Organifi, and it gave me something. So I'm going to copy that, bring that over to our HighLevel account, and then I'm going to paste it there. Cool. And I'm going to make these things bullet points here. So we'll highlight these and then do bullets. Okay. Now media, that's where we need the image that we created. I'm going to hit save here real quick. Well, it looks like I need to do a price. So let's go find the price real quick. $34.95, compare it $39.95. You'll see what that means in just a second. So price, $34.95. Compare at price, $39.95. I'm going to hit save just to create it. Now I'm going to go in and upload that image. So here's the mock-up that I created for that front smile drops. Whoops. I double tap it. And now that is the featured image for that product. Okay. Now, if you want to add this to a collection or add tags or things, we'll go in deeper on that on future videos. But just to get this overall set up, we have it done. You don't need to have Stripe connected for this purpose. Later on, what you can do is when you do connect a Stripe account or a PayPal account, you can sync this product up with that once you've connected it. Okay, so here we are back in our store. You can see we don't have any products here. If I refresh this, it should fill in the product that I just created. Yep, there we go. So we have the product filled in. If I click on it, it's going to bring me to the page where I can actually add it to my cart. You can see the discount is 13% off compared to at $39.95 to $34.95. So not bad. We're on our way there. So we'll go back to our main page. Now, I want to do a few more products, so I'm just going to go through the same process with the other 2 color variations and design variations that I made, and then I'll upload these, and then we'll move on. Okay, here we are inside of our HighLevel account. I've added the smile drops, the sleep drops, the berry drops. If we go back to our page, you can see I still just have the smile drops here. If I refresh, then the other 2 should pop up here. Boom. So now we have the 3 different product images here, which look really cool. They're obviously, you could improve on these packaging, but this is just for demo purposes. So now we're going to move on to doing some cool things with the look and feel of these actual things. You can see when I hover over this, if I go to Organifi and I go back to their main site, if I hover over, they do some cool little interactions here with the buttons and stuff like that. We don't have any of that on our site. So I'm going to do a little bit of that. I'll show you some cool ways to do this with ChatGPT if you don't have any tech knowledge or CSS knowledge, which I don't have very much at all. I'm going to show you how I just asked ChatGPT to tell me what to do, and it's going to give me the code to make these things happen. Okay, so on our page, what we're going to do is scroll up to the top here, and I'm going to click View, and then Developer, and then Inspect Elements. And this code is going to pop out here. Don't worry, I don't even really know what a majority of this does, but I'm going to show you how I find what type of things I need to put into ChatGPT to get the result that I want. So I want to hover over what I want the action to happen. What I want to have happen is when I hover over these images that they kind of pop out a little bit. They raise up just to give a little interactivity there. If I hover over this, you can see if I click on this, it will, what I'm trying to get is this code. I don't know if you can see it, but when I hover over it here, okay, my little loom thing was getting in the way, but basically what I'm trying to get is hovering over here. You can see there's that image W-100 HL. That is what I'm trying to get copied. So if I click here, then scroll over here, okay, maybe it's this image wrapper thing. So I got it highlighted here. I'm just going to copy this part here. And I'm going to go to ChatGPT and see if I can ask it to give me some code here. So let's see what happens. Okay, I'm back in ChatGPT. I'm just going to say, hey, Chat, can you give me CSS code to make this image pop out a little when I hover over it. I'm going to paste that thing I got. Those of you who know CSS, I understand this is probably not the correct way to do it. Maybe I don't even have the right code, but I know that I'm just learning this as I go, and chat has really helped me out with a lot of this. So I'm going to hit copy code here. I'm going to go back to our page, our editor there. Let me actually go back to the store, hit edit, and then over here where it says custom CSS, I'm going to paste that in there, hit save, and let's just see if it does it. If I hover over it, oh look, so it's doing it as I go. It's really cool. So hit save, and I preview our site, so it's raising them up. I think maybe I didn't select the right thing for it to do, although it is working. I want just the product image to pop up, so let me see where I can get that code. All right, after quite a bit of trial and error, I finally figured out which one it was. It's this long string right here, W-100. You can pause the screen and see it here, but it'll also be already set up if you wanted to just use this. If you're one of our affiliates or if you want to buy it, it'll all be built in already, but I'll leave the screen up here. You can pause the screen and see here where to do it, but we paste this in the CSS code. I hit save, and if I go back to our page here and refresh, and I hover over, you can see now it's doing what I wanted it to do, which is really cool. Just a nice little effect. You can use the same thing for pretty much any product that you create. And if we tap on this, it will bring us to the actual shop page where we can add this to our cart. So really cool there. So we're making some headway here. I want to fix this header image. I also want to have this little scrolling review section here as well. So we'll build that part out next. Okay, if we look on the Organifi website, you can see they have a headline here, and then they have this little scrolling thing that has different reviews coming in here, which has a picture on one side and the actual review on the other side with these little quotation marks here. We scroll through, they have a few of these. Some have the picture on one side and the text on the other, and then vice versa. Picture on one side, text on the other. It goes back and forth. So what I wanted to show you guys is that we can build this in Canva. Okay, here we are inside of Canva. I made a landscape that was 1100 pixels wide and 480 pixels tall. So I had this. Then all I had to do was go in and do a frame, and you just drag it over here and it creates the frame, which you can then go and drop pictures in. So let me pull up some pictures here. I'll drop them in there. Okay, I was in ChatGPT trying to create some images here of a fit man standing on a hill. It gave me some stuff that was a little too cartoonish here. Then I realized that Canva already has some stuff built in. So let me find where I was again. So if I just do fitness man, I'll do a fitness woman as well in a second, but just drag this guy over here. And then I'm going to use chat to actually come up with the review here. Obviously, again, this is just demo purposes. Don't use these as real testimonials for your product because they're not real. But this is just to kind of fill in the space so you know where to do it. And then you can use this template here to actually put real reviews once you have them. Okay, so I use ChatGPT down here to just say, can you write me a sample review that someone might say about using our brand Wanetah to get more energy? Let's see what I get. Okay, let's see. Can you make it shorter? Whoops, shorter. Awesome. I've been using Wanetah for a month, and it's been a game changer for my energy levels. No more afternoon slumps and no more coffee reliance. I feel alert and focused all day. Highly recommend for anyone needing a natural energy boost. So I'm going to copy that, bring it back over to my Canva account. Okay, then I'm going to get some text in here, paste it, shrink it down, make it poppins. Okay, so I pasted the text in here that ChatGPT gave me. I got a pretty cool little graphic here. Let's make one more, then I'll show you how to create the little slider effect. Okay, so I found this image here. I made another variation from ChatGPT just to have these two images here. And I'm going to download them, and then I'll show you how to create the little slider effect. Okay, so we're back in our HighLevel account, actually editing the shop. I'm going to just delete some of this stuff here that I don't need. And I'm going to make another section here, make it full width. I'm going to add one column row, and then the element I'm going to add is a slider. And now I have the image slider. You can see the little arrows here. We're starting to shape up. So I'm going to do slide number 1 is go back to my computer and find the review number 1, double click it, and then tap on slide number 2, do the same thing, review number 2, okay, and I'll delete slide number 3. So that part's cool, but if we look at our Organifi website, it has a nicer little shade back here. So I'm going to make our background the same color, and the way that I find out what color that is I have this little Chrome plugin here called Color Picker. You can find it in the Chrome store. But what it allows me to do is select this little eyedropper thing, and then it will tell me what the color code is for that particular color. So I'll do it one more time. Hit the eyedropper. You can see it's that F5, F4, F0. So if I click on it, it copies it for me. Then if I go back to here and click on this spot, the background color, I'm going to add that hex code and hit add color, and it gives me that nice background area, which is cool. And then the last thing I need to do is just add a little headline here. So I can just tap this little orange part here and do headline. Whoops, one more time. Drag it where I want it. And I'll do what people saying about Wanetah. Change that to Poppins. Hit save, and let's kind of preview where we're at so far. Okay, so we have our logo up here. Obviously, we have a huge hero image here that we need to fix, but we have the product images that pop out here for us. We have the reviews, the review slider here, so you can see it goes back and forth, which is cool. Now we're going to fix our hero image here, and then we'll kind of wrap up the rest of this landing page, but we're not too far away from being done. Okay, we're back on the Organifi site. We want to make something that's similar to this, just something that's bright, feels like it's outside and fresh and happy. We don't necessarily need to worry about the text as much, but we'll see what we can create here on Canva. Okay, so I'm here on Canva and I've downloaded their header right here just so I can have it as a frame of reference. I'm going to look at some elements and just see if I can recreate something that's somewhat similar. So let's do outside background. This purple one's not bad. Let's see if we can find something that's kind of bright. That's not bad. These are all pretty good. Let's see what else we see. Okay, so we found this image here. I put it in here. Obviously, theirs is a little blurry here. I'm not probably going to be able to get the hand, at least using Canva. But what I can do is make the background a little blurry. So I'll hit Edit Image and Blur. And let's just do the whole image here. Okay. Maybe a little too much. Let's go back to the blur. Bring it down just to here. Let's say those are similar blurs. Okay, then we're going to bring in our product image. Turn it a little to the side. Okay, now we'll see about adding the text here. And what I might do too, just because this is a little narrower, let me duplicate these. So I can just make a couple of them. Okay, so that's not bad. Now we will add some text here since we have the ability to do that. So I'll put some text down. Okay, so I've added a little bit of text here, just playing around with a few different things. Obviously, this is just a template to use as a demo, but I think it's pretty cool. Maybe we'll throw in our Organifi logo too. Let me upload that. Not Organifi, Wanetah. Now we have that. Let's shrink it down. Cool. So I think that looks pretty good. You could obviously go in and make this a button or whatever, but I think for the demo, this looks, not too bad. Let's see. Maybe I need to make this just a hair bigger. All right. So I'm going to download this, bring it in as our hero image and see how we're looking. Okay. We're back on our site. We're going to delete this text here and delete the button and then replace this background image with the one we just created. And then we'll hit save and preview. So what I don't like is this is a bit blurry, and I know why. When I went to Canva and I downloaded this, I didn't make it big enough, so I'm going to hit share. What's cool about this is I can hit download, then I can bump up the size of the thing that I'm trying to download. So let's make it double the size. This number 2 here, going to pick the number 2 image, hit done, download, and then we'll go and replace it. We're back in our site. You can see the blur here a little bit. We'll tap this button here, create a new upload, double click, and we're much crispier there. Okay, so hit save, We're going to refresh here. Okay, so still a little blurry, but I think it's much better than where it was before. Okay, so we have that. We have our products. We have our slider. Let's see if there's anything else we want to add to this demo site. Our slider. We got a little content here. Maybe some kind of learn more button there. And then we'll work on the footer, and then we'll wrap up this video. Okay, so looking at the Organifi website, at the footer here, it says take an extra 15% off your first order. We'll also send you delicious recipes, product updates, and more. So this is a great way to capture leads on your site. Now, what we need to do is recreate a form similar to this, just an email opt-in and an enter form here. So we're going to go over to the form builder and build that and then insert it here onto our Wanetah website right around here. Okay, so in the same area, we have stores, but we also have forms here. We're going to tap on forms and then hit add form. I'm going to name this as Wanetah home page. And then we're going to just delete some of these things here just to get a fresh start. If we tap on themes, you can see a few themes there. A lot of these are the vertical forms. We can also do the horizontal forms now. You can see single line, which is what we want. We want that. We're going to do just email address. Okay, so we have email and then the button here. So let's see what theirs is again. So enter your email and then you just tap enter. So placeholder, enter your email. The button is our brown color. So let's use our color picker again. Okay, we've copied that. Now we're back on our button here. We're going to make the button say enter. And change the button color there to our brown. Okay, see if we can make our form a little wider. Field width 75, maybe 70. Okay, it's been a while since I've done the form builder here, but I just played around with it a bit. And what I was able to do is make the background transparent, which I just hovered over this part, then did style, colors, and backgrounds, and then made sure that the background was over here in this transparent spot. And then I was also able to put both of these on the same line just by tapping on this section here, making it 60 or 70% of the width. And then on the button, I had to make it, 20, I could probably make it 30%. There we go. And so that is good. If we save this, let's go back to our shop and see if we can add this form and see how it looks there. Okay, we're back on the shop builder here. We're going to go down to the area that we want to add that. And then I'm going to, right here, just do form and select the form that I want. Cool, looks like it's there. That title for the form is not correct. So that's correct, but it's dark. So I'll fix that part in a second. But if I hit save, and again, it's going to, because it's a global section, it's going to update on all the other pages as well. So if I hit preview, we'll go down and look at it here. Cool. It does have a little border around it, so we'll fix all that part in just a second. So I need to fix the border, and I need to change or remove this title here. Okay, so the great news is they've made a lot of really cool updates to the form builder. It took me a long time to figure out everything because it's been a while since I've created new forms, but I'm glad I went through it because now I know. So to remove that little top part there, all I had to do is select the email field and then toggle off this show label part. So you can see it's turned off. Now to get the white ring removed around it, it took me a while, but what I didn't know is they had this little advanced settings down here. And what was happening was I had this solid border around it. And when I just turned it to none, you can kind of see it as I do it, but it removed the border there. And you can do a lot more on this as well with even doing custom CSS and all kinds of stuff here. So I'm sure I'll play around with this later and figure more of it out. But overall, I was really happy to see that you could basically do anything you want now with this. So I'm going to hit save and go back to our landing page and then fix this. Okay, so I'm back on our site. You can see that the ring is removed, the little label is removed. What I need to do is just add a little text at the top. So if we go back to our Organifi site, you can see, remove this, and we have a little text here. So I'll copy this, go back here. I'll duplicate this so I can drag it up. I'm going to paste it in here, make it a little smaller. And then I can even, if I wanted to just be extra careful, I can have AI rewrite it. So improve writing, replace text, boom. And make that small again, like 16 maybe. Now, if I wanted to rework the layout, I'll probably spend some more time just really cleaning this up and then do another part of this series, but just wanted to kind of show you. So I'm going to save this, and then we'll kind of look through the different pages we have. One thing I didn't show you yet too is on the products, you can see this font is not the same as my Poppins font that I've been using. So if I click on this and then I go to font options, I can make all these Poppins or whatever you want to do. So if you have a custom look that you want to your stuff, you can change the colors of what shows up on like the product name, the background, if I wanted to make it black or whatever, but I like the way it is there. Subscription, you can see I'm not doing any subscriptions right now. Other than that, I think we're pretty good here. So let's preview what we have so far. Okay, so starting at the top, we have our logo up here, our little navigation bar. We have our hero section. We have our images that pop out when we hover over them, which is cool. We added a little custom CSS on this video. We did a slider. We created the whole slider image in Canva. We even created these images in Canva, which is cool. We have our footer. We have our opt-in form. So we're doing pretty well. Let's look at some of the other pages just to kind of see what those look like. So we have this. We can go in and change the font and all that on these two. We'll do the add to cart, see how that works. View cart, got the same footer here. So this is what the global section means. I haven't been on this page with you guys yet, and you can see we have our logo up here. We have everything that we've been editing down here. I think this is a little clunky here, so I'll probably clean that up before I publish this, but overall looks pretty good. And then if we check out, you can see our checkout page. It says no valid payment found. That's because we don't have Stripe or PayPal connected, but that's where that would be. So overall, I think we've done a really good job. We have an entire working store as soon as we would connect PayPal or Stripe. But I think this is the beginnings of something that if you wanted to take this and run with it and go and start your own supplement brand, or like I said at the beginning, if you had somebody that was buying your software and you wanted to show them, hey, you don't necessarily need Shopify. You can run everything, including your store on this dashboard. It will run your social media. It'll help you get reviews. You can send emails from it. You can run Facebook ads, everything all under this dashboard, including your store, and I'll set everything up for you. Here's a demo site of how you could do it. Now, if you wanted to go the other route and set this up yourself and start maybe looking at getting into a supplement company, I pulled up one other thing that you might be interested in. If you Google white label supplements USA, that will show you places that are inside the United States that manufacture supplements, and then you can put your own branding on them and resell them. I have no of any of these, so do this at your own risk and do your own research, but this is something that a lot of people go and do and find a company that can create, for example, this is showing some vitamin C, so create a vitamin C brand that you put your own label on. You can use Canva just to get started and mock up your product there, and then start selling it if you want to. So just an idea. I'm going to come with a lot more of these in the future, different ways that you can use HighLevel outside of having to go out and get a bunch of clients. And I think it's really going to give you some different perspectives on how you can really generate businesses. And for us multipreneurs, if you want to call it, or shiny object chasers, or however you want to label us, that have a lot of different ideas, HighLevel is the perfect place for you to start a brand under its own sub account and run all the emails and the payments and everything through that so that you can keep it focused. And then if you want to do something totally different, you just start a different sub account and do it under that account. So that's why I love HighLevel so much compared to other things I've used in the past. It gives me the ultimate freedom to every crazy idea that I have. I can go out and create a sub account for it, start a brand if I want to. If I want to sell that brand off one day, I can, and just set them up with their own sub account, and they can still pay me $100 a month to maintain it, or however you want to structure it. But it's just an incredible opportunity. So if you have been wanting to get started with HighLevel, now is the time to do it. Click the link down below. You'll land on a site that looks like this or some variation of this to get a free 30-day trial of HighLevel and get started. If you do, you'll also get the entire shop funnel that I just built. Once I have it fully done, you'll get a copy of that as well. All of our affiliates are going to get all of the designs that we do. And if you want to buy it, once it's ready, there'll be a link down below. So whenever you're watching this, if you don't see it, it'll be down there once it's totally completed. So with that, I'm going to wrap up here. I appreciate all of you guys, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks.